rotten keg tapper, no name having looking ragged lame rapper, you nut hugger butt buddy fudge packer. Okay, enough of that, my real friends call me.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to 13 Minutes. This is the third episode, and we are joined by Youngstown's own Alteras. I am your host, Paul Goon. Guys, go ahead and introduce yourselves by first, middle, and last name, please.
My name's Jake Charles Klassen.
Such a proper name.
Jacob Charles.
There it is. I'm Zachary Taylor Orr.
I'm Michael James Dulay II.
We sound like such nice kids.
I know, right? Yikes.
You guys are nice. I think you're very nice.
Till you get to know us.
So,
nice right now.
how long have you guys known each other for?
Shit.
I've known Mike since 5th grade, 6th grade.
I moved here in 5th grade, so since then.
Yeah.
Where'd you move from?
From Youngstown.
To Austintown?
Yeah.
You guys went to Fitch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about you, JC? When did you get in the picture?
I like knew of them when I was in school. Like when I was a freshman, they were seniors at Fitch, so like I knew of them because they were like in different bands at the time, and I was like, dude, those bands are tight, man. I remember them. Mouse was in a band called Virtue Destroy.
Yeah.
And Zach was in a band called Ugly Kids with Cute Features, and then Mouse was also in that band at one point.
Can we talk about either of those bands for like 5 seconds? What was the name with?
I would
No, we
love
can't.
to.
Not at all.
I'm down.
What was the band you said that he was in?
I was in Virtue Destroy.
Okay, tell me about that just for like.
It was like a hardcore grindcore band.
Grimy.
Yeah.
Did you guys put anything out? Did you
Yeah,
record?
yeah. I mean, it was during the MySpace days.
Oh, nice.
So, I mean,
Okay.
if you can get to the page, all the music is there. It's not, like, good.
But that's like kind of, so was
But
that
it's
the
there.
first band that you were in?
Yeah. I always, like, played in, like, hardcore grindcore bands,
Okay, cool.
death metal bands growing up.
What do you classify, what if you had to put Alteras into a genre? Because I've been curious about that. Do you call it metal, or what do you, is there really specific one of those?
I mean, like, alternative hard rock's a pretty
yeah.
umbrella term we use.
Yeah, we
Okay.
get lumped into metal a lot too.
But, like, it's not super metal.
yeah, I like.
It's like certain songs that are and certain songs that aren't. Like,
According to iTunes, like the album was a metal album.
No, it's
But-
under rock, though.
Yeah, I know, but like.
It came up on the metal page, but it's on,
Yeah.
like, a rock listing, so it's really weird how iTunes
the
did
week
it.
that it released, it was like on
A
the featured
featured.
albums on metal albums.
But then
it's
you
funny.
click on it and it says rock.
Yeah, it's like. And they're like, what the fuck is this? I see like a crossbones and skulls to the left, like people getting mutilated on the album cover.
All
to the
black,
right.
all the album covers
And
are
then
black.
you just see this
black.
bright pink like girl
Pink,
on
purple,
fire.
purple.
We're like, oh, okay, metal, right?
Honestly, I feel like that's probably a good thing, because that means that you guys are probably creating, well, I mean, I shouldn't even say probably. It means you guys are creating something like new and, pushing the limits of these genres to where obviously they're having a hard time putting you into just one. It's probably really a
and
good thing, right?
if nothing else, when you look at all the album covers, ours definitely stands out. Because
In a good
black,
way,
black,
we
black,
don't
black,
know.
purple, black, black.
Because it doesn't have that same really weird
Yeah,
font that looks
that's
like someone
definitely
tried to
different.
carve something into a tree, right?
Yeah,
They're all the same.
Yeah, I saw an Instagram post. It was like, the old leather couches that like break and
Yeah,
crack.
it's like
Yeah.
And it was like, what's the band name? It looked like the old grindcore font.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, so that was like what your old band's font looked like, huh, Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, like, how long has Alteras been together for?
So, before they joined, I had been like, I've been in Alteras like for a really long time, and
This
it's
has
like,
been like your only band.
it's the
actually.
only band I've really ever been in, and it's just been because like this was like where I started to learn to write music, to like the point where like these guys joined and it became like.
So these are not original members of Alteras.
They are in my eyes, because when
I
we
mean,
started,
I joined in like 2012.
yeah. So like at the beginning, it was just like a garage band that was like, hey, we're just a couple dudes that just got guitars. Let's learn how to write music. We'll call ourselves a band. We'll never play a show. And that's what we did for about 4 years or something, until 2012 when Mouse joined. We did a full length album, and then
We
shortly
did a an EP first.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, you're right. We did an EP,
Shapeshifter.
and then we did a full length album, and then
And then Zach joined.
shortly after that.
Yeah, and we didn't really start touring until
Yeah.
after
14?
Grief was released.
15?
The people on this couch right now are the people that have been touring the entire time. We're like nobody else has left the road.
So this is like the official Alteras. This
guess-
is
This is
I guess
it.
so.
this is the I guess
Alteras
what I would call
2.0
OG.
permanent.
We're releasing a new patch soon, don't worry.
Yeah,
Everything will get
there's a
fixed.
couple updates.
So is that the total bodies of work then? 3, 1 EP and 2 full lengths?
There's it's one EP, an LP, and then an E EP.
Yeah,
Yeah. Myself on Fires is like a long EP. I mean, it's 7 songs.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So then what so of course, yeah, Myself on Fire is the new one. It's fucking badass.
Thank you.
I see that you guys hit on that Billboard chart. I know that you were covered by Alternative Press. What does that shit feel like, getting recognized by names that are recognizing the biggest names? You know
Honestly,
what I mean?
it's like it's a weird thing because like I don't think about it until like it's like actually happening. You know what I mean? Like it's not really a thing until we're sitting there and we're like, okay,
Okay, this is the
wow, it's yeah.
It always
there it
feels
is.
like nothing's happening ever. You know,
I remember.
it feels like we're just like fucking ourselves always, constantly.
So try not to keep the hype up and keep our excitement up until it's like actually there. It's like, yeah, wow, okay, cool.
I
Fuck
remember
yeah.
the day that Myself on Fire, the single dropped, was like the first thing we put out from the new album that announced the new album, really.
And AP picked that up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they said they were not going to.
Yeah, and they dropped.
Do you
it
think they
live.
said they were not going to because they knew they were going to, or do you think that they didn't want to and then they were like, God damn it?
Originally, it was scheduling conflicts.
Yeah, there was like a scheduling. Yeah, they said like they just didn't have time for it.
Someone
Yeah.
else.
And then like the night before, I think they said they were gonna
Yeah.
do it.
It kind of all worked out.
Yeah, it's because they were like, what in the fuck are we passing up on?
I just remember watching the live stream because like they
It
live
popped off
streamed
real
it on
fast.
the AP page, and I remember we were all together because we were doing like a full day kind of like hype up for it. We had like a graphic that we live streamed on all of the like our pages or the record label page for like a whole hour before like it came up to like draw attention to be like, hey, go look at AP's page at whatever time it was launching. I remember we were like standing there all day. We were drinking PBRs, just like kicking it, like
I think
watching.
we drank a whole bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, we did. And but I remember it came on and we were all like, oh shit. And we were just sitting there watching. You see the little number in the bottom left that's like, the number of viewers that are watching the live, and we were just watching it go up. And it's only up there for 4 minutes, So when it was like breaking 100, we were like, oh shit. I was like tearing up, man. I was like, oh fuck. I was like,
I'm not
this is
crying, you're crying.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
All right, so mimosas, whiskey, PBR. You guys like to fucking drink. I like to drink with you. That's cool.
Fucking
What is your favorite? What is the not individual? What's the collective Alteras favorite? Is it
It depends
PBR?
on where we're at.
Yeah.
Like, if we're on tour, we drink blasters and PBR.
What the fuck is a
Like
blaster?
vodka, energy drink, Powerade.
Go to Walmart and look for vodka because
$4
Walmart
bottle.
doesn't sell liquor.
Oh, the
for
ones
some
like in the
places they
big,
do.
the
Yeah.
plastic containers.
Where it's like plastic and like look at the bottom shelf because that's what you're aiming for.
Yeah.
You can't pronounce the name. You just buy that $4 bottle.
It's like the
Big ass $4 bottle.
And the
but be
same-
careful because some states, in here it's like 40 proof, but some states it's 80 proof.
Yeah.
so
And they
you-
don't like tell you.
You don't know what
Yeah.
you're getting.
So
but,
like sometimes we're like,
So
wow,
we've
that
definitely been
blaster
like,
was strong.
why is it so
It
strong?
was like sometimes we like double pour because it's like supposed to be half
Yeah,
the
like-
strength, and we're like, holy no, wow.
So you get the vodka, and then you get an energy drink, and you also get some type of Powerade,
Powerade,
Gatorade,
Gatorade.
whatever, and you mix those three together because it fucks you up, it gives you energy, and it hydrates you.
Yeah.
And we shout out to our Revival fam. They
For-
introduced
They
us
taught
to
us
it.
that and pretty much ruined our lives.
Yeah, we learned about that hard on the Alisana tour.
I think really everything was fine up until that moment.
Yeah, no, that's where
Now
everything
that I'm
went
thinking
downhill.
about it.
Do you guys have day jobs? What do you do? Is Alteras like? Is that it or?
No.
About 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, we kind of honed in and focused on this being primarily what
Yeah.
we were doing, but we all have, other things like Misprint Studios, Misprint Apparel,
Misprint Productions.
productions, booking, and odd jobs. Just
Yeah, I do
pay
a
some
lot of
bills.
like freelance work.
Yeah, same. We're really hardcore for like I substitute teach sometimes like at like high schools and
So you have a degree.
yeah.
Yeah, I have a degree too.
Yeah.
And Zach's working on his
Yeah.
What do you have a degree in?
history and political science.
Ooh.
I'm going for computer animations.
Oh, wow, so we got 3 smart motherfuckers. That's why the lyrics are good. I get it. Okay. All right, I was okay. I didn't know. Okay.
But, you know.
Yeah, and I like work at Susie's and Mission Taco cooking also.
I like Susie's.
Yeah, it's alright.
Them fucking hot dogs are good.
I like working there. They like work with me well around my schedule. And then I also like do bookings for them too, so I'm just like triple dipping all day.
Yeah, dude. Anywhere,
There's nothing wrong. You got a quadruple dip, and if I
Yeah.
knew what the 1 for $5 was, I'd say that. Like,
Penta dip.
Penta dip.
yeah,
Same.
Penta dip.
I don't
It
know.
doesn't roll off the tongue as easy.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so what I was curious, what are the other 2 that EP in the full length? What are they called?
The first EP was called Shapeshifter. That was like 2011, 2012.
It was after I was in.
Yeah,
2012 we released
2011
the
was when
singles.
Toby came out.
2012
was
Promise
when we
Me
did
came out.
Promise Me, and then
2013
would have been the whole album.
Shapeshifter came
Yeah,
out.
and then after
Then it re-released in 2014 on iTunes, right?
Yeah.
That's what it says at least.
Yeah, and well, that's because we did Grief, and Grief we actually
Oh yeah, right.
Grief,
We took a tragedy.
yeah,
A tragedy was originally on Shapeshifter.
And Grief released, 2015, and then was re-released
That-
2016.
yeah.
16.
When we re-released Grief, it was when we signed to Revival, which is when Zach joined the band. So essentially, when everything was becoming everything like that it is, we signed. Everything was kind of solidified a little bit, and then we released the album. So like, Shapeshifter, Grief, and then we went forward from there. Toured on that for about a year,
2 years.
year and a half.
2 years.
What year
maybe.
is it? 2018.
All right, Michael, you're not allowed to talk. Tell me about his nickname.
About Mouse.
Yeah, tell me about Mouse
That's more of a
/
Zach
Rat.
question.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay. I mean, I was pointing in the general direction, but okay, Zach.
It was 5th grade, and I saw this new kid walk into the cafeteria for lunch.
Yeah, I moved in like the middle of the school year, so it really fucking sucked.
And you all remember Trip Pants, right?
Explain.
Like, really, like, big, like, chains everywhere, leather straps hanging from it.
Who wore them?
Huh?
Both of you?
No. I always wanted them.
And Michael had them.
Michael had them. He walked into the cafeteria wearing them, and I was like, I'm gonna be friends with this guy.
And then we were in study hall together.
And that was a bad time
My first
for the teacher.
Yeah,
It was a good time for us.
I'll never forget the first encounter with Zach. He's like sitting next to me, doing like some like weird humming stuff with like his spiky hair,
Yeah.
and
I may have had, like, highlighted tips.
I was like, yeah, Frosted Tips was like the thing. We all had
Yeah,
them.
the 90s were cool.
Well, that would have been like what, 2007,
2001.
2006?
2001.
Oh, I thought you were
Okay.
in
September 11th just happened.
fifth grade. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a good time. It's a good time to be alive.
My parents got
2001.
divorced. The towers crashed. I moved to a new school. It was a good time.
I had just literally moved to like Youngstown from Columbus at that point.
Dang. So things were already in play.
Yeah.
So he introduced himself to
So are
me
you
as
saying
Mike.
that Alteras happened because of 9/11?
It seems like it.
We won't confirm
We
nor
went
deny.
Oh, we can't.
Bush created Alteras.
He introduced himself as Mike, and everyone referred to him as Mouse.
Yeah, this kid that worked, like, I mean, that didn't work. We didn't work at the time. He rode my bus, and we lived in, like, this apartment complex. I got on
Is
the
it
bus.
Will?
No, Will didn't even live here yet.
Okay.
I think his name was Justin. I don't know. We were, like, not really friends, but he, like,
Yeah, did you fucking hate him?
No, I didn't hate him. I don't know.
Okay,
He was,
because
like,
the
my-
kid that gave me the Paul Goon nickname, I fucking hated that motherfucker.
I don't think I hated him. I don't know. I mean,
But then it stuck.
we were like never really friends though, so it was really weird. He was like, and he, like, I was assigned to sit next to him on the bus. He was like, "I'm gonna call you Mouse," and I was like, "Okay, whatever."
Well,
How does Mouse evolve into Rat?
So
Oh God.
So
All right.
this developed. This is a recent development.
It's
We didn't
pretty-
realize it
pretty
was
new.
a thing. It's probably been a thing for a while, but we just never really brought light
We
to
never
it.
really put a name on it.
Yeah. I want to say we were
I distinctly remember when I saw Rat for the first time. Like, I knew it was Rat and not just Michael or Mouse. There's stages, all right? When he wakes up, he's Michael, depending on the night before. But typically it's Michael, gets his coffee, turns into Mike. After his coffee, around noon, he turns to Mouse for a good amount of the day. You can find Mouse. And then something changes. This look in his eyes, like, gloss over like a great white about to kill a seal. And that's Rat. And you'll know when you talk to him, when you see him. He's got just a jug of screwdriver in his hand. And that's when I knew we were on tour.
Are you saying he's cranky? Is that what it is?
oh,
He's not,
no.
well, he's always cranky.
He's just especially wild. and
we were in Texas,
doesn't really care.
and the night before we had that shitty vodka to make blasters with.
Yeah.
And we stayed at this gas station, and we got orange juice. We were like, dude, we'll make screwdrivers. That could be a good time. We passed out like really early that night because it was tour. We're tired. And in the morning, I remember I was like, Mike, I'll drive. I got this. I got my coffee in my hand. I look down, and there's this bottle of screwdriver because we just poured the orange juice we had into the bottle of vodka. And I was like, you just sit shotgun and you drink this. And he didn't sit shotgun and drank it. He took it and chugged the whole thing, and his eyes just glossed over it. And he looked at me, and he's like, I'm so glad that you decided to drive, Zach. Do you have any more beer? And I'm like, Jake, help. That's the first time I remember
No.
distinctly knowing it was Rat.
Yeah, that sounds like our Darth. I love it. Anytime, Rat, you want to go out? Let's do it, bro. I swear to God, I'm so down. I'll never call you Rat. I'll call you Michael, but bring him out.
All right. Rat's always there. He comes out when you least expect
It's
it.
super funny because like even our label at this point will call like they like call him sometimes just randomly at like super late obnoxious hours in the night. They're just like, oh, we were just hoping to talk to Rat because like he's fun to talk to.
Yeah.
It's just silly.
Tell me about Warped Tour. You guys played 2 stops, didn't you?
Yeah, that was definitely one of those things that like Zach was talking about that like didn't really hit us until we were there. Like, because we got the notice, we were like, oh, fuck, we're playing Warped Tour, that's fucking sweet. And then, we had a plethora of other things we had to worry
But like,
about, because that was right
getting
when
to
our
Warped
album.
Tour, like working
Yeah.
all the things we did to make that happen was
Yeah.
a really thing.
It
Playing
was-
it was sick.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
What cities did you guys play?
Really good crowd. What?
Played
What cities did you
Cuyahoga
play?
and Cincinnati.
Yeah, it was the Full Sail stage. So, yeah, it was, like, really pretty awesome. We had, like, a good setup, especially in Cuyahoga, because, like, the stage was right at the entrance of, like, where people were coming in. And we played, like...
Second.
Yeah, we played second in the day, so it was, like, 11 o'clock, so people were, like... Because traffic was awful because it's the last Warped Tour ever.
Yeah, and
people were
Blossom's
flooding
terrible.
in like right at that point.
You didn't
so
have much of a
we-
choice to see us.
Yeah, you didn't have a choice whether you were watching us or not. And to be honest, it was super hard to like choose a band to watch there because last Warped Tour there was fucking everybody there,
Yeah.
So like
He
it
was
super
kind of
tight.
turned and walked and stayed and watched us. It
Yeah,
was tight.
we had a really good turnout. We moved a lot of CDs there, and I think that was part of the reason
that definitely
we
helped
were-
us chart. We like hustled really hard.
Yeah, I mean all day long. Yeah,
It was like 12 hours straight.
They're
just
not
straight
lying
hustle.
when they say that Warped Tour is definitely one of the most exhausting things for bands. Like they call it like summer camp or like boot camp for bands because man, it's tough,
Yeah, man.
especially as a band that was like
We don't have like
a team.
a team,
You
it's
know?
just us.
We had to carry our
We had our
gear
TM and our photographer and us, and that was, it.
Mm-hmm.
But,
and
That's fucking badass.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I mean it
yeah.
was
And a cooler
lot
full of
busting.
beer.
Yeah,
That's
a
all
cooler
we
full
had.
of beer. That's
Oh, Cuyahoga's loading wasn't too terrible.
no the
But Cincinnati was like a mile
oh
hike
my
of all
God.
your shit.
At least a mile and a half hike.
you guys feel stronger though after that? I mean, physically, not. I don't give a shit about your brain.
Dude, at the time, absolutely not. It probably has left me by now. But dude, no, I definitely feel stronger when we're on tour. Like by the end of the tour, I'm like, man, dude, I feel jacked. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm like, all right.
We were
I'm
smart
weak as
though.
fuck
We
again.
brought dollies to help with like our cabs, our heads, and guitars and everything else. And
The one dolly broke.
One of them broke.
one of the wheels shattered. Like
We were like in the me and Zach were in the middle of the road with like all of our
Yeah.
like shit on this dolly, and the wheel just broke.
And it's funny too because they were like, "Oh, we'll be nice. We'll go get the rest of it. Like you guys
You
just
guys
you
just
guys
Yeah, so just
set up the
Zach.
merch, like get the stuff going and start handing out.
we didn't
stuff.
tell you this, but we
And I was
knew
like,
that
yeah,
the
dude, I
vodka
got
was
it.
in the van.
Yeah, so we really wanted to go do blasters at like 9 a.m.
so there was a little karma involved.
I guess it's out now.
There's a little
Okay.
karma involved. But
Karma
you know
will
what?
get you every time.
That's fine.
But you know what? Two
That's-
nice ladies who knew Zach's parents or whatever.
Yeah, my aunt. They knew my aunt.
Like
They were just randomly
happened to be
there.
right behind us and helped us carry the stuff in. So we like took them in the gates with us.
Yeah.
Just got him in.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean,
I guess don't tell Kevin that.
Sorry, Kevin.
what bands or musicians inspire you guys? Individually, if you guys want to, I don't care which end you start at. I want to know who's your favorite, where you get your inspiration from, basically.
I don't want to start with this.
Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
I just don't. I want to end on a bad note.
God.
So mine's pretty wide, but I guess I'll always like go back to like the emo post-hardcore scene of like Thursday is like one of my favorite bands always, and Armor for Sleep.
I like Armor for Sleep.
Yeah.
I used to listen to them a lot in high school. Yeah.
Yeah, so those are like pretty big influences when I write. I mean, there's like more modern influences like Bring the Horizon, Under Oath.
Under Oath was a big one for us too.
Yeah.
I used to be a big fan of Under Oath.
So those are like some basic. And Taking Back Sunday. That's
That's still one of my
That whole
favorites.
emo Jersey scene really like is like what I really liked.
I'll listen to them till I fucking die. I'm gonna be showing my grandkids Taking Back Sunday.
Yeah.
I promise you that.
When I was growing up, my dad like raised me on like 80s hair metal, glam rock, stuff like that.
Did that inspire your hairstyle currently?
Kind of.
Okay.
He his favorite band is Kiss and Aerosmith, Motley Crue.
I like Kiss.
All that shit.
Oh.
So like
I got a fun story.
Tell it.
now.
No, yeah, right. Yeah, no. So this is really funny. You'll like this story.
Okay.
So it's a super like just some stars shit. You know, it's like 9/11 causing Alteras.
Jesus.
Put that on a shirt.
Did you guys ever hear the one about Chris Benoit crippler cross-facing his whole family, and
Oh
that's
my
how he killed? Yeah. Oh, that's my favorite story.
my
That is just like that one. I'll tell you guys that one off the camera.
I like.
Oh,
So here's the story.
Oh my god.
So my dad's birthday is November 5th. Zach's dad's birthday is November 5th. And my dad was a rock photographer and took pictures of all kinds of bands and stuff. And Zach's dad's first concert they went to that was Kiss, and my dad was there photographing it. And my dad gave Zach's dad a picture from that show.
Yeah.
It's like Christmas 1 or 2 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That's really
there's
badass.
a fun
Seriously,
story.
It's
that's
like
really cool.
Young Gene, Paul, and Ace and Peter, they're all like 20 whatever, and
I have to do that Facebook plug then, right? Old man Dulé.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it is? Where he puts all that stuff.
Olé.
Ole? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, correct me. Yeah, I've seen his. So he took all those
Yeah,
photographs
those
and
are all
videos.
his photos, his originals.
That's shit's really impressive. I've seen a lot of that stuff he
Yeah.
puts. All right, so let's hear about the
but
music.
then
influence.
after growing up on that, I discovered some other shit more modern, and
Oh, there's other music out there.
I was like, what?
Dad, you
More than
sheltered
just
me.
80s? You kept me in this box. But no, like Under Oath was a huge inspiration for me as well, and I bought a Limp Bizkit album or two.
I still listen to Limp
Bizkit.
Bizkit.
To Limp Bizkit and like Korn and Disturbed and stuff.
New metal. There's nothing wrong
I
with
mean,
new
yeah.
metal.
I
man.
mean, that was like the 90s, early 2000s shit.
Some Manson.
That's the shit we were listening to when our parents probably didn't want us to.
Yeah.
I used to hide in my room and
I
listen
got
to Limp
this.
Bizkit.
It was the Headbangers Ball. It was like a
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that on
Like-
MTV when they used to have the
Yes.
whole
Yes.
the videos and
Yeah, I
everything.
had those Headbanger Ball CDs.
And it just like introduced me to a whole bunch of new
Mushroom
shit.
Head. That was
Yeah.
another one. Yeah, they used to come around here.
Slipknot was on there, like a whole bunch of shit.
Dude,
I started listening to
I'm buying
Slipknot
shit.
again
Slipknot.
because
Yeah,
I've been like
Shit,
listening to their
holy
lyrics.
shit.
Amazing
Dude, I
writing.
forgot
I
about
kind of
Slipknot shit.
discredited them for a while, but their
Yeah.
writing is.
They're very good.
No, yeah, I was just listening to like their like self-titled, and I was like, dang, this is really like well written. Honestly, it's well written, well produced. Like everything about it is.
When
really
you grow up and re-listen to that shit that you kind of put aside, it's
Yeah.
yeah.
You're like, yeah, there was a reason I like this.
All right, JC, let's hear about it.
So like my like musical
Oh, no.
influence is like they hate it first of all.
Oh,
well,
no.
not the influence. They just hate the music I like. Which
It's not
is
that we hate it. It's just like we hate you.
Yeah, that's
No, no.
Now it's out there.
It's justified. I kind of deserve it most of the time.
No, I've gotten hit.
But like, so like when I was growing up, a lot of the times most of my influence came from like my mom because she like raised me, and so like most of what I listened to was like 98.9 Kiss FM, like Cher and like Tom Petty. So it was like a little bit more like old schooly, but as I kind of grew into music, I didn't really know what to listen to, so I kind of like found my own things.
Here we go.
So pretty much like where I'm at now and what I really draw influence from is like alternative music, like British pop. Like my favorite band's the Wombats, and a lot of stuff like that. But like when it comes to like writing, I actually try really hard. Like when we were doing Myself on Fire, I went through a period where like I just didn't listen to music, which is weird. And it was kind of experimental for me, but like I just didn't listen to music while writing anything because I didn't want to draw influence from anything. I wanted it to just be like genuine, and if it sucked, I'd scrap it. But I was like, I just didn't really want to let anything leak out, And at some points, like I'm sure that like whatever's deeply rooted in my brain came out. But
So you're saying
I don't want
that we could
anything
find some
current
Cher in your
leaking.
writing?
Dude, probably, man. I would love that. I want to like kick it with Cher.
I mean, I'm not against it.
I've always thought it'd be sweet.
This is actually probably one of the most favorite origin stories I've ever heard of Jake's musical.
Like the X-Men.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad.
JC Charles is an X-Men.
I'm glad after like 4 years of like doing this, you know, like I finally have like appeased you, you know.
Proud.
All right, bros. While you're hugging, we're gonna get ready to wrap this shit up. I do want to know what you want to tell people is next, what you're working on, what's coming up. Whatever you want to say. I mean, you know, social media plugs, anything.
Yeah, you can find us on all forms of social media. Tags the Alteras Band.
Just Alteras Band.
The tags Alteras Band.
All Terrace Band, let's just be clear.
Yeah, Alteras Band.
At Alteras Band.
We got a couple
At
tours
Alteras
coming
Band.
up. Maybe
Some
some
things.
just new things.
Halloween show, is that a house party?
Yeah,
Something?
we have a house party coming
We
up.
got that and
And a YSU party thing.
Yeah,
Youngstown State
October's gonna
University.
be like fun. It's kind of like a lot of parties for us, and then we're kicking off the year pretty strong with tours. Hopefully November, December, January, and the album's still pretty much brand new. So go listen to that if you haven't
It's only
yet.
been out for like a month.
Yeah,
Really.
so-
Yeah, it's good as
so-
fuck. It's definitely worth
if
it.
nobody's listening to Myself on Fire yet, go check that out because that's like a large portion of all of our lives and it means a whole lot to us. So even if you just stream it on Spotify or you download it illegally from YouTube, you have our permission to do that.
It's there.
Those are real artists. You guys aren't like Metallica. I like that.
just listen to it.
Yeah.
Show your friends. Show your grandma.
But you better come out to a goddamn show.
Yeah, dude, we come to your city, you come out. We'll hook you up. We'll give you like free stickers and shit.
They come, you come.
Yeah.
Everyone's coming.
Yikes.
Everyone's
good time.
coming.
All right, well.
Buy me drinks.
Yeah, and if you don't buy rat drinks, fuck off. All right, bros. Alteras, I really appreciate your time, ladies and gentlemen. This is Alteras. This has been 13 minutes. I am Paul Goon, and we will see you next time.
No name having looking ragged lame rapper. You nut hugger butt buddy fudge packer. Okay, enough of that. My real friends call me Asher. Laughter. What kind of name is that?